Right now I want to show you the RAM-B-316-1-AP8, which is this system right here. Firstly, we have the cradle. This is the RAM-HOL-AP8, which is the cradle for the iPad and iPad 2. Flip it over. I have already connected the RAM-B-202, which is this round plate, 2.5-inch round plate with 1-inch sized B ball. This plate can be mounted either here where I have it or here where it is the other round plate. The hardware that connects these two is actually included with the cradle, so I have already gone ahead and connected that. That's those two parts. Next we have a short arm here which has a B-size 1-inch socket on one end, and it has the female octagon connector on the other end of this arm. And lastly we have the RAM-316-1A, which is this 18-inch long arm, rigid flex arm with male button on top, which is actually the octagon button. So let's put this puppy together. First, let's join this arm to the end of this leg. This arm is the RAP-B-200-1. You can actually buy a C-size ball one of these, which would be the RAP-200-1. But in this case, we are using the B-size 1-inch ball. So we take that off, take the washers, disconnect the two arms. And now we have to, let me flick that around so you can see it, put these two pieces together. There's one half and the other around the button. So now we've done that, we just reconnect these washers. Again, these washers go nylon first, then steel, so the larger, then smaller, and then the knob. So there we go, wind that back on. And now we have an open socket on the end of this leg. Guess what goes in that open socket? There we go. We now just have to marry that B-size ball into that socket. Let me loosen it off, like so the ball can get in. And then we can tighten that up. And there we have it, a fully connected RAM-B-316-1-AP8. Now, what do we do with this piece? Well, the idea is to take this foot here and unscrew a bolt in your vehicle, usually the passenger side front seat bolt that connects it to the floor. Slide this foot in, put the bolt back in through the seat, hopefully, and then through this and everything else, and then connect it into your vehicle. And what you're left with is, let's bend this so we can see it, one of these sticking out in our vehicle. So ideally this foot's connected. I've just bent it in half to show you how it would sit. And now we're left with an iPad mount that we can just loosen this ball and spin the iPad around in our vehicle however we want. And we can actually loosen this socket right off here in the octagon and rotate it as well. So we have a lot of flexibility in here. But now once in our vehicle, we can just loosen this ball off and have our iPad face any direction we want. So it's a little bit hard to explain on the desk, but I will do another video and throw this in a vehicle so you can see how it works in a vehicle. But that's how it all comes together. So you've got an 18-inch rigid flex arm, I should say, and rigid meaning it's very hard to bend this arm once you've bent it. So it's actually rigid enough to hold its shape once you bend it in your vehicle to make it fit. Then you have this twist point here where the octagon button joins. Then you have the ball and socket, which allows again you to rotate your iPad horizontal, vertical, backwards, forwards, passenger, whatever you want to do. So there you have it. That is, one more time, the RAM-B-316-1-AP8 vehicle mounting system for your iPad and iPad 2.